happy. I didn't catch him, I didn't go back happy. Patties, so fucking patties. Patty up short, man, I got rich. You don't wanna see me switch, chop off the whole bit with a stick, no witch. This dude one stepped out and drip, three balls in her tongue, this round's been thick. Telling me she rates my songs and dick. Back Rambo's not a fan of flicks. This 3-8 hunting hold 6. Pay, I can't slip.
I could talk on Bear Man's day 15, that was me on the ride on my blade. Then the next 2 rides, man, went on the whack, got caught, spinner in the gauge. If you don't see no one that tops, no tops. Trying to just team man out of there, Jay's out, he holding the clutch, then break.
One. Shout out to the Barry TV. I know. Country gang got that dope.
Guess who made it? Now look, I'm on your playlist. You said I wouldn't make it furthermore. You said I wouldn't be famous. Now I'm getting girls naked. I'm on your girlfriend's playlist. You said I wouldn't make it furthermore. You said I wouldn't be famous. Let me tell you how I live. I used to fucking have nothing. Now look, man, I own my own crib. I got a studio where I live. Yo, man, you can't tell me this. I just spent 1,000 on lean. I spent another 2,000 on kicks. Cause this is the life I live. I come from nothing, never had shit. I'm a man used to fucking stress. Work 2 jobs, can't tell me about this. Every day I was getting it. I never had shit. And my trainers were owner. Now look, man, I flex like. Now look, man, I flex like. The manager just told me calm down. I nearly overdosed, got the lean in my fucking crown. You can't tell me about shit. Violate me, looking down. I pull it on my life, man, I don't do that. But my shooter might come around. But my shooter might come around. I used to gang bang, but I changed my life. Never go home, my daughter. Rock her with love, and I tell her it's alright. Cause you know that daddy be next. So I'ma just flex, no matter price. I might just cup her some Gucci sliders. Just so she can slide. Just so she can slide. The last week that I fucked me a shorty. Big back, man, she elegant spot. And I told her she on fleet. So I might double tap that bar. And I know that your girl won't beat. Cause she said that I'm buff for spot. But I don't wanna hit no shorty. Cause my girlfriend might go nuts. And let me tell them something. I got bored at the end, took a flight. Just so I can double tap pumpkins. Hit me a Latina, bitch. I said it was nothing. I'ma show you an empty golden one. The booty come or something. I said the booty come or something. I might pull me a 4 and just bleed. You can't tell me about shit. Remember the days had a something on my waist. Every week caught a case. I beat it, flew. Niggas can't tell me about shit. OG, don't need me cake. Let me tell you niggas about you. Cause nigga right on top them wrists. It's the life I live. Man, just do what I like, do it off-white, do it like Virgil. Broski went on the bike, went on the strip, he doing up circles. From South London to Tottenham, anywhere with no curfew. Chatty boys, we don't fuck with them, never doing no verbal. Man, just do what I like, do it off-white, do it like Virgil. Broski went on the bike, went on the strip, he doing up circles. From South London to Tottenham, anywhere with no curfew. Chatty boys, we don't fuck with them, never doing no verbal.
Country, London City, shorty, pretty little thing for sure. Piss in the O when I step in the store. Real bad man, don't obey by the law. Yo, run, 2, 3, 4. Lash can't hold, but call for more. Ain't no more, mine or yours. Coming in late and she mopping the floor. She love trying my watch and flash on my ring, but only we know. Now I'm in a tune with Els and Dino. Would have been S, but it's up on free throw. New Jack City, no Nino. Bro, banged it, got sick, can't reload. So low mark for the heat though. Give you a chance, fly out, go Heathrow.
Man, just do what I like, do it off-white, do it like Virgil. Broski went on the bike, went on the strip, he doing up circles. From South London to Tottenham, anywhere with no curfew. Chatty boys, we don't fuck with them, never doing no verbal. Man, just do what I like, do it off-white, do it like Virgil. Broski went on the bike, went on the strip, he doing up circles. From South London to Tottenham, anywhere with no curfew. Chatty boys, we don't fuck with them, never doing no verbal.
Chatty boys, we don't fuck with them. We drop it, pop it, lock it. Got a bag, one pop in her head and the ends. Give her a 10, excellent. Slide in the DM, she knows that I'm pre and give her 3 days. It's me that she's seeing. If I hear that she's speaking, I'm due to delete it. Bust down Rolex, diamonds are beating. Bust down, window speeding through. I'm on the blow, got reasons to. Double O's Bando and Dino too. 3SJ, my team, my crew. She's been with me since like year 2. We've been on the streets, who the fuck was you? Nice nose on mills when you look at the views. Now gal want us when I'm dropping my tunes.
Man, just do what I like, do it off white, do it like Virgil. Brody went on the bike, went on the street, doing up circles. From South London to Tottenham, anywhere with no curfew. Chatty boys, we don't fuck with them, never do it no circle. Hold up, I'm bringing it back, do it off white, dressing all black. PLT, and she got her back, she counting my racks and bringing it back.
Fuck off.
My skirt in.
Experience YouTube Premium for ad-free videos. Try 1 month free now, restrictions apply.
And the driver with him was like properly shaking. I mean, can't drive. But he goes, "Mate, we'll be alright as long as you can drive now. If you don't drive, you'll get killed. So can you just try and drive, please, mate?"
doing a concept that Robbie's come up with. So if it fails, at Robbie Knox on Twitter, blame him. Give him a lot of stick. Explain the concept, Robbie.
So it's basically like the one we ripped off menu. So it's your dream holiday. You've got a 5-day break because it takes too long if you do 7 days. So,
yeah.
And you've got things on at the weekend. So Monday to Friday, and you've got to pick a thing to do, a holiday thing to do for each day.
Right.
But you can travel instantly between them. You don't have to worry about logistics of getting between them. So it could be that you're going to go rock climbing in Peru one day, and you could then go taking heroin in Dundee the next day.
Based on those, is one of your guesses going to be rock climbing in Peru?
No, for the heroin.
Because based on those alone, I already know mine's going to be incredibly boring.
For Monday, I'm going to go to Brazil.
What are you eating?
I have actually thought about it, Stevie, because I'm a model pro. I don't know. I don't think it was Brazil that you said you'd been before, Robert. I think it was Cuba. Was it Brazil?
Or Costa Rica? No, I've been to Brazil though. Yeah.
Peaches from a bag.
I said mango from a bag when I was in Costa Rica.
Yeah, you did. It's just come back to me now. Yeah. And that's why I wrote down mangoes from a bag.
Okay.
I want to try those bag mangoes that you spoke about that time.
Okay.
And I thought I wouldn't just go to like the Copacabana, although I'd probably spend the morning there having a bit of a five-a-side kickabout with some local kids, like because I imagine like that's what you see in the movies. Like they're all like five-a-side, and they could be like fucking 14, 15. They'll be doing like overhead kicks. It'll be like,
and you just walk over and go, I'm playing now.
No, I'd be like, please, can I play with you? I wouldn't be.
Would you be walking along?
You're walking over to a group of kids and you're going to say, please, can I play with you?
No, I know what's happening. Just walking along the beach like that, and the ball just comes to us. Just feeling, hey, Easter. That's what I'm doing actually.
Oh, he's got aimbotted.
Swerve this one right in the top corner or something. They go, come and play with us like that. And
exactly.
You're there, and whilst they're amazing, you're like holding your own.
Yeah.
Right, do you know what I mean,
and I like to think like, I had this mate come over to school from Brazil when I was in like year 8 or something. So I was like 13. And even though I was like a tiny little ginger kid, because he was really tricky on the football and skillful, I knocked him off the ball, and I started thinking like, yeah, I'm fucking like, I'm the English one. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm John Terry in the playground there. Like get up, you little pansy. And that's how I imagine I'd be on the Copacabana. I'd be like going 2 foot through these kids.
Now you're beating kids.
I'm also destroying any potential future Brazilian tapes.
Smart.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
You like that? And then I'd probably like check out the favelas.
Yep.
Hold a gun. They do there's a lot of guns over there.
Just hold one.
How are you gonna do this? You're gonna just walk into
the platform that you work on is all
like the driver rock climbing in Peru one day, and you.
I have actually thought about it, Stevie, because I'm a model pro. I don't know. I don't think it was Brazil that you said you'd been before, Robbie. I think it was Cuba. Was it Brazil?
Fucking sweaty fucking minigun cunt.
I said mango from a bag when I was in Costa Rica.
Yeah, you did. It's just come back to me now. Yeah. Although I'd probably spend the morning. He won't know that though.
Yeah.
Mango.
Was it Cuba? That's Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
No, I went there a couple of years before, or the year before the World Cup was there to do a video for a corporate client, and it was amazing, an amazing place. But you did get that sort of vibe of everyone gets robbed, like everyone you spoke to. Well, I didn't have any trouble or anything. It felt like. It was a bit weird. For example, I went to get some money out of the bank machine, and the local Brazilian guys who were on our crew, I said, I couldn't get any money out. They went, oh no, because it's the evening, you can't get any cash out after 9 PM or something, because people rob you at
mental
things like that, so you have to get your money out earlier.
Mad.
And stuff like that. And,
yeah.
And I quite sorry, did I tell you this? I didn't tell you about the guy who works in that City of God film. Did I discuss this?
No.
Do you know this film, City of God? That was set out there. This guy that we worked with, my crew worked on that. This story's mental, by the way. So he was, his job was, because they used actual kids from the favelas as actors in it, his job was to drive into the favelas with a driver, go and get the kids in the morning, take them onto set, and then at the end he'd go in a minibus and take them back. So this went on for a little bit. One day, and then he had permission from all like the boss, the fellas and all this and stuff. One day he was on his way back out, having dropped the kids off in the evening, and there was like a bloke with like a machine gun stood in the road. So we went, okay, so they slowed down. This guy's like, wait, he stopped. He goes, hi, yeah, we've got permission to be here. We've done all, we've been doing this film. We've cleared it with this guy and all that. This guy, yeah, no problem. He goes, do you mind just give me a lift? I just need you to give me a lift somewhere though. And then on the way out, he went, oh yeah, no problem. This guy opens the door of the minibus, like 8 blokes come out with loads of like guns and all this and get in the back of the minibus. He's like, this is escalating really quickly. Then we go, right, okay, off you go. And like the driver with him was like properly shaking. Like, can't drive. He goes, mate, we'll be all right as long as you can drive now. But if you don't drive, you're gonna get killed. So can you just try and drive, please, mate? So he's driving along, and the guy came like, turn right here, turn left here, and they've all got all these like loads of weapons and all this like grenades and stuff like that. And he's sort of going, this is pretty bad. But he starts to calm down after a while. He goes, okay, they're just going somewhere. It's fine like this. They drove through like a motorway through Rio de Janeiro. Just as he's starting to think, I think it's probably gonna be all right. Some bloke winds down the window, gets out a like loudhailer. Is that a word, loudhailer? Yeah, the thing where you go, hello, like a megaphone. Yeah, megaphone. Yeah, gets out a megaphone, sort of shouting out the sides of the car, get out of the way of the terror car. The terror car is going through. The driver's going, what's he saying about terror car? He goes, don't worry about it, just keep driving like that. And then he looks out the other window, and the bloke's like got a rocket launcher hanging out the side of the car. And you go past police cars, the police guys are looking up at the light, and this guy's got a rocket launcher pointing at the police, and they're like, nope, you all right, mate? Down. And then he just drove through for like half an hour getting directions through Rio de Janeiro, and then they just half past the woods going, oh, stop, there's off here. Just got off and around the woods again, that was it.
Fucking
So he went to work the next day, went, I quit.
Wow. What a story that is. I'd do that. That'd be mad. That's my Monday.
Fuck off, you prick.
I'd drive the terror car.
There's a lot of questions about the terror car, aren't there? Because like, why... Was it just like cheaper than Uber? was it?
I don't know if they have Uber over there, do they?
I don't know. Why were they? I don't know. Weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Lots of questions. Maybe find out in the second half of the show. We won't. We won't.
Oh no. Did your game just get interrupted by an update?
I am very happy today because we've got a fan favourite back on the show. Ex-cop, undercover police officer, author. It's Peter Bloody Blexley.
I really needed to get to know him, to understand him, because I thought there were secrets in his head that were going to help us solve Christine's dreadful murder. And I spent days with him, literally, shut away in an interview room. It was a result of that he told me 3 words, which essentially unravelled the case. He is begging me, literally begging me, to give him my 100 grand. And he says, I will be back within the hour, without fail, with your 4 kilos of cocaine. I said, I'm going to get you a baby, and I'm going to wring its neck, and I'm going to throw it in the skin. Smash the doors in, seized gear everywhere, there was more gear in the loft. They found another address connected to them, and there was more gear there. Hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of pounds of gear got recovered. 3:30. Everybody up! Everybody up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Right? Doors coming off their hinges. Right? Here we go. And I would put the joint together, right?
Yeah.
And I could build a brilliant 3-skin, 5-skin. I was very inventive, right?
Yeah.
I could build a joint like you wouldn't believe. So I could shape lines of coke into people's initials. What's your name? And they'd say, Jim. And I would carve them a very nice looking J. And I'd go, go on, get on that then. So if in the end, yeah, I'd get that £10 note, right? Have a line of Charlie, right? I'd do it if it was going to be a deal breaker, because as I walked past him, he just pulled the lapel of his jacket open an inch or 2, so I could see the butt of the gun that he had in the shoulder holster. I've got a guy on the front door with a gun, and I've got this waitress coming to our table now, who is probably going to recognise me and blow my cover completely. I'm known for catching pretend fugitives. It made sense for me.
Oh, fuck off.
Hunting for real fugitives. Kevin Powell must be found. Kevin Powell will be found.
Yeah.
Finding Kevin Powell is my life's work. Kevin Powell, I'm coming for you.
Hello guys and welcome back to Jack Mate's Happy Hour, the happiest hour in all the week. You alright, Stevie?
I listened back to an old episode earlier.
Ah, fucking have that, you twat.
And you started by saying the happiest hour in all of the land. And I remember that you used to say that a lot, and it's gone.
That used to be a thing. And we had Raphael Rowe on a few weeks ago now, who obviously got sentenced to a murder that he didn't commit. And everyone was going, oh, stop using that stupid jingle. It's not happy. It's not happy. It's like, as we said to Peter last time, this show originally was meant to be a show where we'd just slag off other YouTubers. So the happy hour was ironic.
But still ironic.
Well, you're happy when you're with me, aren't you?
Well, I am for the first 5 minutes, and then
I start bullying you.
You break me down.
Yeah, and we'll get there. Don't you worry, guys. We'll get there. I'll carry that mantle. But like I said last time, I am very happy today because we've got a fan favourite back on the show. Ex-cop, undercover police officer, author. It's Peter bloody Blexley. How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you. Although I would like to point out the title of your podcast, Happy Hour, right?
Yeah.
I've had no 2-for-1 cocktails offered to me on the 2 times that I've been here. So I might not be overly happy.
Well, if you score the hat trick at one point, then we'll make sure we get you some cocktails.
Okay.
What's your go-to cocktail?
Well, I'm more of a pint of ale kind of man, right?
Right.
Or a glass of red wine.
Yeah.
But the other night I went to a party, a house party, socially distanced and all that before somebody starts banging on about me being flagrantly breaching the COVID regulations, which I don't.
Right.
Small gathering, celebrate a teenager's birthday, and the daughter of the household was making cocktails, and she gave me a porn star.
Oh,
Right.
Been many years since you've had one of them, I imagine.
I'm scratching my head to think if I ever have had one. Anyway, I enjoyed it so much I had 2 porn stars last night. And it was a very enjoyable evening.
I'm looking forward to this.
You love a cocktail.
I do love a cocktail. I'm a bit of a pina colada man.
You are not for me. I had a zombie, didn't I, when we went drinking the other day?
Yeah. We're still not sure what that is.
It was just strong. I think the whole name is just to say that it's going to kill you off.
Oh, brilliant.
It was a lovely night.
Peter, since you've last been on, because as I mentioned, you are a fan favourite here on the Happy Hour channel. What was the reception like for you? Did you get much?
I got a lot of reaction, and it was overwhelmingly lovely.
Oh, lovely.
And so thank you to the listeners for that. Because essentially, you know, I'm a bit of an old bloke telling stories from many moons ago a lot of the time. And yet people seemed to enjoy them, which was fabulous. People said some lovely things, and then I think you ran a poll not long afterwards about who did the fans want back. And I might be wrong, but I think I was right towards the top of that.
You are. You always are. We often do these polls and stuff, and you always come out on top. So it is a pleasure to have you back. And like you were saying, like an old bloke with stories. That's why you're so good on a podcast, because you've got stories. We 9 times out of 10 we have a YouTuber on who's gone, oh well, I did a diss track once.
Don't say that. We still want the YouTubers to come on.
Yeah, for the views.
Oh, okay,
like
yeah, that's fair.
the stories are thin. Do you know what I mean?
You're never going to get us another guest.
No, because we can offer them something now, because the show's doing well. The clips with you, I think, accumulatively have over 500,000 views on YouTube, but a couple of 100,000 on the audio downloads. So that's how hopefully we can replicate that. I know you've got plenty of stories for me. You texted me yesterday. I should get it up actually. So just a little bit of a teaser. I texted Peter because we're going to be talking about your new book, Manhunt. You're searching for a murderer, Kevin Powell. That's going to be in the second part of the show. So I said to Peter, I was like, what should we talk about in the first hour? And he's given me some brilliant prompts here. So look forward to these. Peter said, I have such stories that feature a baby, a gun and a bucket of piss, a 20p piece, a collie going on the rampage, and an Italian mafioso in London. Take your pick. Well, I'm going to pick all of them, and we'll get to them one by one. But before we do that, how's life been treating you? Because it's a different world now, isn't it?
It is a very different world from December of last year when I first came on. I have been very fortunate, and I thank my lucky stars for that, because as lockdown was imposed, I had a book to write. Right. And I'd got behind schedule with that. So for the first 10 or 11 weeks of lockdown, I literally got up every morning, went into my office, and did 2,500 words every day. Wow. So to that extent, I was largely unaffected, in so much as that I had a lot to keep me occupied. Frustrating thing was, I couldn't get out and knock on people's doors and get in front of people and all that as part of my investigation into Kevin Parle, which we'll talk about later. So that was deeply frustrating, and there's still elements of that with regards to travel and the like. But essentially, yes, I was very fortunate. As a family, my wife could work from home, so she was okay. My 19-year-old had a job in B&Q. Right. And he had a lot of work. He was working 5 or 6 days a week, because that was one of the stores that was left open. Oh, wow. Yeah, so he was very cautious, you know, wore his mask, kept his distance, sanitised, all that kind of stuff. And when he got home from work, we literally sort of defumigated him at the front doorstep. Right. And he went straight in the shower, and his clothes went straight in the washing machine. Yeah. And my other son, my younger son, was studious and got on with his schoolwork. And do you know what? As a family, we actually discovered that we quite like each other. That's ideal. So that was a bonus.
Whereas me and Fiona discovered that we hate each other. How does, obviously you're searching, you're currently on the hunt for a murderer.
Well, he's yet to be tried for those 2 crimes. He's wanted for those 2 murders.
Right, okay. And obviously you go here, there and everywhere, putting flyers out, spreading the message and stuff. So how does lockdown affect something like that? Because these are unprecedented times. We've never really lived through these before, so...
No. Well, fortunately, you know, I'm constantly in receipt of information about Kevin Parle, or those that may or may not be harbouring him or funding him and all that kind of stuff. And of course it's the 21st century, so I can sit at my laptop and be a desktop detective, a digital detective, and do the online research, or speak to my open source expert who does so much of that. Right. And I've got a geographical profiler who's been helping me, and we can do all of that electronically and securely. Yeah. So that's kind of been great, but I'm a bit of an old school shoe leather detective. Right. I like knocking on doors, getting in front of people and saying, I've heard this about you. What would you like to say about that?
Yeah, I can imagine that's quite intimidating, because even you just doing it to me then, I sort of tensed up a little bit.
You know, and I've been denied that. But hey, you know, there are millions upon millions of people who have lost their jobs, who were furloughed, who were living in tower blocks with no outside space, and all of that. And I am so aware of that, and consequently I regard myself as being extremely fortunate.
Yeah, I think we are, well, I certainly am as well, being a YouTuber. I could do stuff from home, and obviously there was more people at home to watch the content, and of course, quite rightly, as you just said, there's a lot of people in terrible situations through lockdown. I'm not going to put myself in that same bracket at all. I'm one of the lucky ones, but it was shit not doing this, wasn't it?
Yeah, we tried. We failed.
We tried to do these shows remotely on Zoom and stuff like that, and it just didn't work. I like being in the room with
yeah, we actually turned down a few guests, didn't we? Because it's just not the same. Like, it's so much better having you here, being able to react properly as well. It's such a strange thing to not be able to do on a remote call.
You get the instant reaction, you can feel the emotion more. Like, there was times when, like, we'd be doing silly ones just between us, and someone would make a joke, but there'd be a delay on the internet, so no one would laugh for a few seconds. You think, it's not landed very well. You go on to say something else, and then the person would laugh, and it would just be an absolute nightmare. But I slowly feel like things are getting back to normal. Do you not?
Yeah, and let's all have a sense of perspective over this, right? Over 40,000 people lost their lives.
Yeah, exactly.
So the fact that a podcast couldn't happen, and the fact that I couldn't knock on someone's door, is largely frigging irrelevant.
Yeah.